2014 limited edition Peter Sagan Specialized S-Works Venge, weighing in at 15 pounds 15 ounces, and in kilos we're at 7.23 kilos in a size 50 sticks. Stay tuned after the video where you hear a free buy contest on those Revolve CLX 64s right there. Hey, how's it going, everyone? GC Performance here, back with another video, and today I have for you guys this beautiful limited edition Specialized S-Works Venge. This is the first generation of the Venge and the Peter Sagan limited edition frame set. I believe this is their first ever collaboration with Peter Sagan for limited edition frame. When it first came out, I didn't like it a lot, but I think it aged very well. I'll go over this whole bike build on here. This is actually one of the guys that used to work here, one of my good friends, Chris. I'm going to tag his Instagram down below. This was actually his old bike. He built it up. He bought it from a store. He built it up here. He sold it. The guy barely rode it. He bought it back from him. So it's back here. I'm going to go over everything that we did to this bike to make it almost identical to Peter Sagan's bike. All the little like tidbits of like little like Easter eggs on this bike. Also the little ceramic speed spacer cover on there. What Chris will tell you is that I cut the fork too small. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. What I'll tell you is I try to make it look as realistic as possible. So we all have our stories here. But man, this bike is absolutely beautiful. As you guys just saw, weighed right under 16 pounds. That is with pedals and cages, and a cage on there with CLX 64 wheels on there. But the bike itself is absolutely beautiful. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Is this necessary? I'll lock it later.
You lock it later?
Yeah, I'll lock it.
You like it?
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Alright, so sorry about that. That's all the random interruptions I have for the shenanigans going on here. But yeah, so this was, I believe, when Peter Sagan was on Team Saxo Bank. This was his limited edition Venge frame they had. They also made this in a Tarmac SL5 version as well. The colorway was the camel color. It looks very, very cool. And then we did some upgrades to it to make it look almost identical to it. You can see here we have the ode to Peter Sagan. The fork was, okay, we wanted to slam it. And as you guys know, you can guys see this little dish right here. This is where like a Venge proprietary spacer would go, like a carbon fiber spacer, and be flush right here. But somehow some idiot, this is like probably like 8 or 9 years ago, maybe to 5, 6, whatever it is, some idiot cut the fork too small. And I don't know what the hell the guy's deal's problem was. But so then we couldn't, the top bolt wasn't pinching onto the fork. But then we remember we saw Peter Sagan's actual bike, and he actually ran the bike just like this. He put a little ceramic speed, little spacer cap on top of here, and a little spacer underneath it with the Zip SL Sprint stem, which this is a 130, and it works flawlessly. The lower the better, and it looks identical to what he had. The only thing we're missing is just a white bar tape, and also he was running, I think, circular bars and not arrow bars on here. But customer, or the guy, wanted the preference of the arrow bars because this is right when the Aerofly 1 came out. But it looks really cool. I like the look of this a lot. I think it's a really badass look. I can never ride it because my back hurts just looking at it, but very cool. And then you have all the colorful kind of like triangle pieces on there. You have his country's flag there, but the bike looks immaculate. Looks absolutely gorgeous. So starting off with the handlebar, we'll kind of go through the whole bike and talk about everything we did to it. This is the first gen Specialized Aerofly 1 bar. The retail on this bar was $300. We went ahead and wrapped it with the Supercaz bar tape with the reverse wrap, and yes, we've been doing that wrap for a long time. It's been about, this bike was 2015, so I want to say like 8 years. We change out tape periodically, but you can see the tape is starting to wear before the even reverse wrap came off, so that's good there. This is the Sram red Etap 11 speed on here, 11 gears in the rear, 2 in the front. This was when I think Sram was at its peak. No bulky hoods on there. It looks very, very sleek. Very lightweight. This was one that's much lighter than the Shimano. People were choosing this group set over Shimano Dura-Ace all day because of the fact of how light it was. I love this. I hope SRAM Axis gets back to this. I don't like the bulky hood shifters on there. Their SRAM Red back in the day, or the SRAM Red Etap, was some of the most ergonomic shifters on there. So I miss that a lot. Carbon fiber levers, rim brakes on here. These brakes feel phenomenal. These are the only 2 cables you have on here. You got the 2 cables sticking out of the ports. You have a front SRAM red brake caliper right there. And then for the wheels, these are the Revolve CLX 64 with the white logos on here. Funny thing about these wheels was that even though we worked for Specialized at the time, you couldn't even buy these wheels aftermarket. They only were sold for a little bit. So to get the white decal on there, you actually need to buy the rims separately or have a warranty issue where they came and send them out differently. So we had to pay extra money for these white decals to get them to match the S-Works because these were considered their team edition. But once you got that done, then you had the perfect match for this bike. You have the Specialized logo on the inside, and you can see on the inside of the fork as well, you kind of have that blue and red color fade there as well. And then for the hubs on here, it's the Revolve CLX hub with ceramic speed bearings. And these wheels, believe it or not, were tubeless back then as well. So very, very nice wheels. And then for these ones, we did the old school quick release skewers on here with the DT Swiss Specialized logo. Those are very hard to find. They even make these in a through axle version as well. Very rare to find to see them collaborate. I have some of these on bikes now in today's day and age, modern bikes with the Specialized logo, but you can only get them through Specialized, so very difficult to find. Beautiful S-Works logo going down the side. We have one white S-Works bottle cage on here, and then these are the old school S-Works bolts. These were when like S-Works bolts were first coming out. This is like when we first started recognizing S-Works bolts, like on 2014, but you can see the head. They had nice, they definitely demanded the presence there. They're not the smaller bolts like they used to be, but you could definitely see you spent some money on those, and that was the whole reason why your S-Works bikes cost so much. Believe it or not, this S-Works frame I think was only $38,000 or $4,000 back in the day, so it wasn't anything crazy like comparison to today's. For the crank, we ran the it's a BB30 bottom bracket on here, or Specialized own OSBB bottom bracket. So we have on there their S-Works carbon fiber crank arm in the white team edition. So 172.5. It was their Fact Carbon 11R. So the crank arm was carbon fiber. We have these ceramic speed carbon fiber spider on here, and then with their S-Works chain rings on here. I wish Specialized continued this model. You don't see a lot of them stepping into the cranks or the chainring market like they used to, but I miss the S-Works bolts. I miss the S-Works chain rings. They just seem to kind of outsource those now to Praxis, or they're just speccing their stuff with either Sram or Shimano. I think it was too much of a headache to deal with crank arms cracking, keeping this stuff in stock and housing it. We had warranty issues where people wanted this same stuff, but something broke, and just issues arose that I think they didn't want to deal with. So. But I do miss seeing them come out with the new S-Works cranks. That was always something I looked forward to whenever I worked in the industry, to see what they were coming out with new that they can get for S-Works on my bike to put on my bike. These were the Look Tour de France Team Edition pedals. They came out super lightweight, titanium axles on here, very lightweight pedals. We have the Sram Red Etap front derailleur. We have a gold KMC 11-speed chain, and then the Sram Red Etap 11-speed rear cassette. One of the lightest cassettes on the market at the time for 11-speed. And then back here, this is the rear mech Sram Red 11-speed with the ceramic speed OSPW. And this was old school, where there wasn't so many gears. You didn't have that such a tight tuck. That you have the two big pulley wheels. I think it's 19 tooth, which is very rare to see as well. You don't see that as much. You have the Venge logo here. I miss this first gen Venge, man. It just looks so good. Only cables exposed, like I said, are the front cable here, and then you have the rear cable that comes underneath the top tube and then protrudes out right here. And that was all you had to worry about. If you had a brake issue, you just pull this brake cable out, and that's it. Rear brake caliper right here as well for SRAM Red. And the Revolve CLX 64 white in the back. We did swap this out, obviously, to a 54-tooth ratchet. And we have on here Turbo Cottons. I want to say these are 28s. This is a 20... Ooh. This is a 26C. So it's a very tight tuck. This is old school. This is when you didn't see this a lot. Back in the day, but the 26C tire did work on this bike. But this bike was such a phenomenal bike. With the Venge, it came with their own proprietary seat post with a dual clamp system style. And then we have on here the S-Works power saddle, carbon fiber rails, carbon fiber body, and an absolute dream of a bike. But man, it's gorgeous. So measurements on here: 172.5 crank, 143 millimeter saddle, 130 millimeter stem, with a negative 12 degree. He's looking for a 140 stem, which you already found with the white logo, so we got that coming. The S-Works Aerofly bar is a 42 centimeter cross. But man, this bike is just so nostalgic. And it's very cool that he got it back and was able to get it. It's, like I said, I didn't like it at first. It looked like very busy to me. But now seeing this bike as is, it's definitely art. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think down below. If you guys enjoyed this bike, leave a thumbs up. If you guys didn't enjoy this bike, fucking let me know down in the comment section. Give it a thumbs down, like say you suck. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, here comes a free buy sound test on this old school Revolve CLX 64 rim brake, and has a 54-tooth ratchet inside there. Here we go. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.